guys, welcome back to another episode of the Web3 Quick Bites, the show where we jump to the latest beats in the decentralized world and chat with some brilliant minds in the industry. Before we start, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of months ago, I was talking to a Web3 founder. Brilliant guy, built something solid, clean UI, real use case, great team, you know the vibe. And then he says to me, Olabisi, we've run ads, we've done giveaways, we've posted every day on our socials, but still nobody is using our product. And I told him what I'm about to tell you right now. What I told him, in quotes, is you are running a Web2 playbook in a Web3 world. And that is why most Web3 growth strategies fall flat because they are optimized for traffic, not trust, for clicks and not conviction, for scale but not stickiness. And the result at the end of the day is projects get attention for 5 minutes and then vanish. So, on today's episode, I'm walking you through the real difference between Web 2 and Web 3 growth and what founders need to start doing today if they want to build something that actually lasts. Whether you are a marketer, builder, founder, or just a curious dev, this one is for you. So, let's dive in. Okay, I want us to rewind a bit because I am going to be talking about why Web 2 growth falls apart in Web 3. But before we do that, let's rewind a bit and refresh our memory. In Web 2, growth was pretty straightforward and it's still pretty straightforward. Your ads, it drive clicks, your clicks goes to your landing page or your landing pages convert to sign-ups, and then you optimize for your customer acquisition, your long-term value, your churn, your upsell. In Web2, everything was clean, it was measurable, it was scalable. But Web3, Web3 growth is messy. It's emotional, it's community driven, it's ecosystem led. And most importantly, it's rooted in belief because in Web3, your audience isn't just buying a product, they are buying into a mission, a movement, sometimes even a meme. You are not just acquiring users, you are onboarding stakeholders. And the moment you treat them like just users, you lose them. Because one thing with Web3 users is that they don't care about your shiny funnel. They care about transparency, incentives, alignment, and the story you're telling. So if you treat Web3 users like customers instead of co-owners, they will ignore you, right? And so there was a realization I had while onboarding, and this is a personal story. So I sometime last year or so, I remember trying out a DeFi app. Yeah, gorgeous landing page, it looked legit. Then I clicked get started, and that's where the pain began. So first, I had to create a wallet. Then I needed to bridge tokens. Then approve the contracts. And guess what? There was no tutorial, no onboarding, no context, just buttons and hope. I just sat there looking at my system, thinking to myself that wait, this feels like a tech maze disguised as a product. And then it hit me in that moment that this is where most projects lose people. And not because the product doesn't work, but because the onboarding journey is broken or was invisible. And this is the mistakes that most founders make, and this is what they miss. You see, before anyone can believe in your product, they have to understand it. It's a rule of thumb. They have to understand it. And in Web3, understanding doesn't happen automatically, it has to be designed. See, your users might be smart, but they are tired, they are distracted, they're overwhelmed. So if you don't teach, don't guide, and reward them upfront, you are done. Now, you're probably asking yourself that, okay, what does Web3 growth actually looks like? Right? So to answer that, I would say let us flip the script. I want you to imagine a different kind of Web3 product, one that doesn't hit you with decentralized multi-chain protocol for composable identity layers. I bet you can't even remember what I just said, right? But then instead it says uh control your online identity with one login for every app you use. Boom, that's just it. Simple, relatable, and clear. I bet people will always remember that. And then you click. You're welcome to the 30-second video. No jargon, just the value. How does that sound? Is it making any sense now? I bet it does. And then a quest. Connect your wallet, claim your first identity NFT, share your experience, any badge or reward. And now, your user, they are engaged, they are invested. You as a user, yeah, you feel seen. You're not just a user at this point, you're now a participant. And this is exactly what smart Web3 growth should look like. Education first, experience led, incentivized, and community activated. Because it is not a funnel, it is a journey. And the best projects in Web3, they don't market features, they market feelings. They make their users feel powerful, early, and part of something bigger. See, you know, on my podcast, I say it as it is and I say it in brutal honesty. So I'm going to give you the brutal truth. Hype. Hype is easy in Web3. You know what is hard? Sustainability. That is actually the hard part. See, anyone can create buzz in Web3 for 48 hours. You can tease a whitelist, you can drop a teaser tweet, you can promise them tokens, you can promise to make them billionaires and whatnot. But the main question here is what happens after the mint? What happens after the airdrop? What happens after you hit 5K followers on X and your engagement flatlines? See, that is when your real work begins. Because you don't just need growth spikes, you need growth loops. That is a content loop, which is you post, community shares, more people join, and more content gets made. The second growth loop is you need a participation loop. Your users take action, they unlock perks, they become contributors. The last one is a culture loop, which is shared memes, rituals, inside jokes that bind your people together. And then by doing this, you are not building traffic, right? You are building a tribe. Because in Web3, your moat isn't your token, it is your culture. So to wrap this up, I would say if you are applying Web2 tactics to your Web3 products and it is not working, see, you're not broken. Nah, nothing is wrong with your product. What is wrong is your funnel. Your funnel is broken. And Web3 growth is not about getting the most users, it is about activating the right ones, turning your visitors into believers, and making them part of the story. So I will advise slow down on the ads, slow down on pumping lots of money into launching an airdrop, stop, slow down on signing up KOLs for your projects, and at the end of the day, there's no ROI. Slow down on all of that and rethink your onboarding instead. Give your users something to care about and a reason to always come back. See, because the best growth in Web3 comes from clarity and not clouds, from storytelling, not just shilling. So, if you're listening to this and this episode hit home for you, why don't you share it with a founder or marketer who needs to hear this? And tag me online. I would love to know how you're rethinking your growth playbook. And I will see you next week. But until then, keep building with nuance, with purpose, and with people in mind. Bye.